your brain. Ooh. We're getting some messages coming in. Okay. So we need to reroute the way that we're speaking about this. It's not human. You can definitely tell that it is alien. We call it psychic abilities, but it is just really one of the signs that your clairaudience is like either getting stronger or developing. And there is a voice. There literally is a voice in your chest. When you can get that aligned with this, that's when miracles happen. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, and hello if you are new. My name is Andrea Johnson. I am your mystical muse, your manifestation mind, your spiritual inspiration, here to inspire, empower, and teach you how to master your energy. Welcome to Mystical Muse Minds, where we discuss topics to expand our consciousness and improve our lives. Let us begin. As you guys can tell, I probably don't need coffee, so this is Dandy Blend. Let's dive in. Almost forgot my glasses, guys. Who would I be without them? All right, guys, let's talk about the mystical, the magical, the things that just don't make sense. And yes, I'm talking about our sixth sense. Yes, guys, I am inspired from my weekend actually getting back into practicing Reiki, and I had an amazing session with the beautiful soul in my apartment. Don't worry, it was a longtime client of mine. I just don't invite randoms in. So guys, from this video, you are going to understand what psychic abilities actually are, what your special psychic abilities or gifts, so shall we say, are, and I'm going to remind you of the ultimate truth so you never have to second guess yourself on your gifts or your psychic abilities again. To first start off with, guys, if you're watching this video, it's not by coincidence. If you're watching this video, it is probably because I am here to remind you that you're already psychic. And yes, we can watch videos to help us advance our skills, to help us build the belief in ourselves, to help us explore different avenues or ideas of psychic abilities, to see it from different perception. But because you are human, because you are an energetic being, because you are a spiritual being, having a human experience, you are already psychic. Psychic abilities are a human's natural ability, right? Or let's rephrase that. Psychic abilities are basically taking the human five senses that we have here in this material world, and because you are the bridge between heaven and earth, you are connected to the spiritual realm. You're already connected to the energetic realm because you are the bridge between it, the physical and the non-physical, the energetic realm. And because of this, you're already connected to it. And it is just you bringing your conscious awareness to that connection that you already have, right? And it's building that connection. It's building the faith within yourself and therefore within you in spirit, with however which way spirit wants to communicate with you, however which way that you need to build your belief in yourself that you are psychic, and that psychic abilities really is just your connection to spirit, right? We call it psychic abilities, but it is just really life in itself. Now that you remember who you truly are, let's start from now the human perspective of conscious expansion. So psychic abilities are just the human five senses elevated to a spiritual sense, your sixth sense, essentially. And that's truly what all of this is. And this is even what your five senses are, guys, is you're taking in information from your physical world. I'm touching this, and I know that I'm touching it because I can feel it and I can see it, right? That's information that my brain is processing, right? The brain is kind of the mastermind behind all of it because it is the hardware, it's the antenna, basically, that is going to be connecting you to everything. It is receiving information, right? Not just with the physical. And I can feel it because, and I'm even building the belief that it's there because I can see it. Humans are like this in the sense that they have to see it to believe it, whereas when the psychic abilities come in, or how you have to understand them, is you have to believe it before you can really see it. So you have to receive the messages and the information from the non-physical before you can actually see either proof of your messages or it manifests physically, right? The touch is called clairsentient. That is the perceiving of the emotions, the feelings that you feel, the energy and motion. You feel an emotion, and then words or maybe ideas or something come from that feeling of an emotion. Or maybe like you're getting a gut feeling, something just doesn't feel right, it feels off, and then maybe you get some messages behind that. Or people make you feel a certain way, maybe unsafe or something as far as that. That is a psychic ability, guys. And it's one of the easiest ones, I want to say, that humans tap into because we are energetic beings. We are emotional beings, right? Emotions or energy in motion, energy essentially is our first way that we naturally just communicate. We naturally communicate off of energy, but we do not trust ourselves with the way that we feel because we're not in alignment with it, right? We've been basically taught to not trust ourselves with our feelings, or if we do, we often kind of, I want to say, judge ourselves or shun ourselves or say we shouldn't feel the way that we do rather than explore why it is the way that we feel, right? Because when you do this, you're going to just expand your consciousness and develop your clairsentient, because the more that you allow yourself to feel, the more range of, I want to say, on the spectrum of emotions or the depthness of emotions that you're going to be able to feel and understand them and help other people understand the way that they feel as well too. And if you are understanding and can face, I want to say, your emotions or in alignment with how you feel, then you can take those messages of the feelings that you receive from your environment and it will give you more information. So, for example, you walk into, let's say, a conference room and there's people in there and they just had a heated argument, but you missed that argument, but you walk in and you feel something's off. You feel it's off because you're reading the energy in the room. Your psychic abilities are taking in all of that information, right? And it's giving you a feeling inside. And then behind that comes some form of a message that's probably like, oh, I feel like there was just a heated argument, or oh, something feels off, right? It's because you're reading the energy. So the next one that most humans really tap into is the clairvoyance. And the clairvoyance, guys, is the seeing. Now, the seeing, it can be physical energy. You can literally see physical energy, guys. I have done this so many times, but it does require a very conscious expansion state. I have to actually use my breath as a tool to expand my consciousness to actually start seeing auras or the energy in the room, or if I really, really practice for a while, I can actually see physical objects vibrate and fall away into vibration. So you can actually see energy, and then you can actually see, meaning your imagination. Imagination is the seeing, guys. It is messages coming through, and a lot of people feel like they make stuff up whenever they have, imagination. But that is, I feel, one of the greatest gifts of a human, is to see it before it manifests physically. And that's what imagination is. It's basically you tapping into spiritual realms of ideas, essentially, is what they are. Thoughts, ideas, and pairing that with a picture to then either decide that you would like to manifest that in physical form. So if you get like creative ideas or something, to actually be the bridge between heaven and, earth, to bring forth imagination into art, to channel it into writing, whatever creative outlet that you want to do. But that idea did not come from you. It came from the spiritual realms. So imagination is a spiritual, I want to say, tool, but it is communication. And a lot of people shut off their imagination because they associate it more with just like playful, childlike, I don't know what you want to call it, stuff, when really it is a psychic ability. So, and a lot of people think that whenever they're trying to tap into their, the images or the messages that spirit uses, like clairvoyance on, they think that they make it up. And I'm here to tell you that there is no difference between imagination or making it up. It's one and the same. It's just your thought behind if you did or didn't makes it true or not true. Oh, ouch. So rest assured, guys, you never make anything up. It's just what wavelength are you tapping onto? What vibrational plane are you tapping onto? And you do this with the vision paired behind the emotion. So the vision will give you a certain emotion if you allow yourself to feel. And that will be, you know, maybe it's the highest reality you can think of in the moment, but the level of love behind it will tell you if that's the highest reality or not. Or if it's a low level, the fear behind it essentially will tell you that's a low level reality that you don't want to take action behind or create whatever vision is coming through for you. So don't take action on it. So the clairaudience is basically the hearing, and it's wild as shit, guys. Let me just tell you, it is just like the voice in your head, the narrator. That's part of clairaudience. Now you can also hear physical sounds, but you know, you can hear voices or stuff like that. The best way that I can explain this, guys, with my experience is, yes, you can hear voices, yes, you can hear music or something like that, but that's more of like the, I don't want to call it the astral realm. That's more of like that next vibrational plane that's very close to Earth, kind of like the in-between. It's the dimension that's the closest to Earth, and of where you will find more of your spirit guides hanging around, because I feel like the vibration is easier to connect to with that plane of existence because it's closer to a human existence. So that's where you'll find like loved ones that have crossed over but haven't fully crossed over, so they're just kind of like in that in-between stage of like the imprint of the energy is still there, and it's easy to tap into your field. So you can literally hear voices, music, and it does sound like it's coming from your external world, right? And then also part of the clairaudience is it's more of like an internal one, and this is the high vibe, the high vibrations. You hear it from inside of you, and I don't know how else to describe it. It's not coming from your external world. It's basically another plane of existence is being channeled through this body. And I basically hear more of like communication from like very high vibrational beings. Their voices sound very, very high pitched. I'll just say that. It's not human. You can definitely tell that it is alien or whatever, foreign, whatever you want to call it. But the translation of it also is very different as well too. And sometimes it's in a different language, not necessarily what you would hear light language in, but sometimes it's very like sounds. It sounds, but it's like, I don't know how to describe it, guys. And the way that they talk, it's kind of scary, but you know it's safe. I can't describe it, guys. It sounds very cartoonish. That's the best way that I can say it. If you guys have like experienced anything like that of like other beings and like hearing it from an internal, please comment down below like the best way that you can describe it, so then we can maybe help other people understand it if they are experiencing it and don't know what it is they're experiencing, or maybe introduce the idea and they'll start experiencing it. One of the signs that your clairaudience is like either getting stronger or developing is, at least for me, how I knew that it was improving, was that whenever I was listening to music in my car, I would hear notes that I hadn't heard before, that I was like, oh my gosh, is this like a different version of the song? And it wasn't. It's just my clairaudience was picking up on very specific details of instruments that I hadn't heard before, right? And it was almost like it was tuning in exactly just to those instruments. So it was almost like I was listening to a different song, but I wasn't. So that is a sign that your clairaudience is enhancing, or you're just becoming more hyper aware. Now, that's also a way that you can practice and improve it, is by trying to single out an instrument and a song and just hearing that instrument. That's how you can basically become attuned or hyper aware of your clairaudience. The taste and the smell, guys, which is Claire Augustus and Claire, I can't remember the smell one. I'll have to pop it up. But essentially, the best way that I can describe this is, you know, in a Reiki session or something like that, or even just like in my general world, how I know that spirit is sending me messages is that I will smell something and it doesn't make sense why I smell it. For example, guys, one time I was giving a reading and I started to smell like cigarette smoke, and it just didn't make sense of why I was smelling cigarette smoke. The person didn't smoke. I don't smoke. Nothing in our environment had that. but it was her grandfather coming through who smokes a pipe, right? Like the old time pipes. And I had mentioned like, I smell like, you know, smoke, like a tobacco smoke essentially. And then she said it was her grandfather. So that was her grandfather's way of coming through in the reading or in the session. But that was the best way that the energy or spirit knew to communicate with me at the time, that I could bring forth that message for the sitter to understand that it was her grandfather. So the taste, that is the same thing. You might taste something in your mouth. You could be having, I don't think I've actually personally had a taste come through. I'm not quite sure if I've ever had like talked to somebody that had a taste come through in their mouth. But the last psychic ability that I want to go over is the claircognizance. The claircognizance is the clear knowing. It's just, you know something and it just is. Like there is no straying you from it. You just know it to be 100% true. You don't know how you know. You don't have any idea how it's going to happen, but you know deep down in your freaking soul and your core that something is going to happen for you or in the world, whatever. You are on that timeline and you can feel it. The best way that I can describe it is like just information just hitting your head, literally like it just hits in your crown chakra and it's like downloaded into your being. And it's like, oh, I know this. But you know the information didn't come from you. It came from source or cosmic consciousness, essentially. And that is the knowing. That's the best way I can describe it, guys. And the only way to practice this or to develop it out is to take action on the information that you get. Because all information is true on some level of existence, guys. But it's the information that you believe the most that will manifest in your world. So whether you get a message or whatever, when you get a knowing, it's 100% to be true. Now, I always say there are two knowings, guys. There's one in the mind, which is like the data, the information just being downloaded to you. And there's one in the heart. I cannot describe in words the heart because I really feel like the heart is the emotion, it's the feeling. And when you can get the knowing, the thoughts, in alignment with the portal of God, the heart, the amount of love that you feel, and there is a voice, there literally is a voice in your chest. When you can get that aligned with this, that's when miracles happen. That is when miracles happen. 100% instantly. Manifestation. And that amount of love that we have inside of us, guys, words don't even describe it. It does not even describe what is sitting behind your chest. So, anyways, guys, I hope this video helps you out. It felt like it was kind of all over the place. I think I had a little too much coffee. And I did a cold plunge today, so I am very heightened in my energy. Anyways, guys, if you have any questions or want me to go into further detail about the psychic abilities, drop them in the comments below. Because honestly, guys, it's a lot of information to actually put into a video. And I feel like this video is already very, very long. They really need to be broken up into different ones. So that's the way that I do it in my course. It has to be broken up into several different modules. So anyways, guys, I'm sending you all my light and all my love. Sat Nam.